Hi guys, welcome back to this week's episode of Daily Dose Podcast. I'm your host, Nisha Danae, and I want to say I hope you guys are having a lovely week. Thank you for tuning in, like, share, subscribe. Just connect with me the way I connect with you guys. I want to talk to you guys today about trauma. Everybody has trauma. That's life. You go through life. Things get hard. Everybody has some type of trauma. But it's so easy for people to put that trauma, the blame of that trauma on other people. It's easier for us to put it on other people than to be self-aware of the trauma that we cause on ourselves. How do you cause trauma on yourself? Easy. If you're a loving person, if you ever love someone, if you ever, been on this earth, you've caused some kind of trauma on yourself by loving too hard, not seeing things when you should have, as quick as you should have seen them, and staying, not giving up, because we're all fighters. Everybody in this world, if you're alive, you're a fighter, because you got to fight every day. This world is hard. So by not feeling like we failed at something, we can tend to stay in things longer than we should. Or we can tend to go back to things that we shouldn't go back to just because we feel like we failed. And that alone can cause more trauma on ourselves because we know better. We know better. Especially when things start not adding up, you know better. And that's trauma you're causing on yourself, because if you know better, do better. It's too simple. But we have that fear of failing. We have that fear of, I gave my all and it didn't work out. Well, maybe it'll work out this time. No. Sometimes you got to let stuff go. Sometimes you got to let that path get cut off. You got to let a forest grow over it to block it off and grow and move forward. That's what you have to do. You have to move forward through your trauma. Especially the things that you caused in yourself, because it takes two to tango. Trauma is not a one-way street. Trauma gets caused by the person that's doing it, whether they're doing it purposely or not purposely, the person that's doing it and the person that's allowing it. And the 9 times out of 10, the person that allows it walks away with more hurt. Because we think that if we stay longer, it shows that we're a fighter. It shows that we're not giving up. It shows that we're in this, but we're causing more harm to ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. We are. But it's too easy for us in this generation or in our older generation to point your blame at someone else. This person did this, so this is why I am the way that I am. Majority of that's on you because you allowed it. You got to take self-accountability because you allowed a lot of the traumas to continue to happen in your life. Once you've seen the little sprinkles of trauma or the little sprinkles of stuff that you knew were affecting you negatively, and you chose to stay in that, to stir it up even more, that's stuff you causing on yourself, not the other person causing on you. It's not that. It's not that. You got to practice self-accountability when it comes to accessing trauma in your life. Whatever your past trauma is, whatever your traumas are now, take your accountability. Then when you take your accountability and you see, okay, me being that type of person, or me loving in that way, or me giving in that way has affected me negatively, then you change how you go. Then you change your standards. Your standards get higher because you're self-reflecting. And when you're self-reflecting, you start to see, okay, well, if I wasn't then I need to make this a high priority. I got to make me a high priority. And once you start doing that, everything around you will start to heal. Internally, mentally, all that stuff will start to heal. And you can pass that on to your children. You can pass that on to your friends. You can pass that on to anyone that's willing to listen and learn and better themselves and to stop being a victim. Because trauma enables people to be victims of, well, this person did this to me and this is why I am. No. At some point, you saw what that person was doing. You picked up on that pattern and you chose to stay because something in you told you fight or flight. But we tend to fight first and then flight later. But we fly out with all these cuts, scrapes, bruises, and all of this when you could have just had 1 or 2 little scratches and you could, hey, you know what? Call it a day. This ain't my fight. But we stay in it because that's who we are. We naturally want things to work out because no one ever wants anyone to leave their life. To be honest, no one really wants anybody with a purpose that has came in a purpose with their lives and taught them new things and been that rock and have done everything substantial to validate being in your life. No one wants them to walk out. So we fight. But then people change. People change. Sometimes you need that person's watering for a season. Some people are seasons and some people are centuries. You know? But you are forever. You will always be forever. You're the only person that can walk inside your body, wake up, go to sleep, deal with the things that you deal with. So accept that sometimes you're human. You make mistakes, and those mistakes cause trauma on yourself. But I just want y'all to be self-aware. That's my biggest thing. Be self-aware of the trauma you cause on yourself and assess it and do better. Always do better for yourself, your mind, and your heart. Join me next week on the next episode of Daily Dose Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe and talk about it. Have a great week.